So I get to set the scene for a few moments this afternoon for you around this idea of the quiet revival. And in 1867, because we're clearly having a historical theme to the day, Matthew Arnold wrote a poem called On Dover Beach. And part of that poem said this: "The sea of faith was once too at the full and round earth's shore, lay like the folds of a bright girdle furled. But now I only hear its melancholy, long, withdrawing roar." So that wasn't very cheery, was it? 1867, he was looking around him and saying, the tide of faith is going out. It's just fading away. It's no longer part of the DNA and fabric of our society. It's no longer important. And after that, we've had modernism and science, that we, humankind, have the answers to everything, if only we think about it long enough. And we have postmodernism, where we get to choose our own truth. And then we've recently been walking through the new atheism, when we're told there is no God. They even had a bus campaign to persuade us that there is no God. And so on and so on. And new stories get told to fill the beach as the tide goes out, the tide of faith goes out. But how about if the tide of faith could come back in? How about if a shift could happen? How about if some new stories could be told? How about if the new atheism that has dominated the conversation for many years, failing to replace God with anything that people could really believe in or live by? How about if what we still need is a better story to live by? Maybe even the story of the gospel as demonstrated in Jesus Christ. Are you up for that? Over these past 4 years, we have chosen to believe and live by a different and counter-cultural story. The story that comes to God's people through his word to the prophet Jeremiah. A word that invites the people to increase and not decrease. A prophetic word of hope and expectation. A word of renewal and transformation and change. Maybe it doesn't seem so weird now, but 4 years ago it felt pretty weird, didn't it? It felt pretty strange to be saying that God is saying we're going to increase when every statistic told us that we were decreasing. But gradually, and little by little, we have been seeing and hearing more and more stories of salvation, of baptisms, of discipleship from every part of the nation in all sorts of churches. And it seems that God is on the move. It seems that the Spirit of God is at work in the most unexpected of places and in the hardest of hearts. We in the Baptist family of Scotland are quietly, we're British after all, quietly increasing. Praise God.